Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I am your host, Vince Edwards. You may know me from a couple closed roadie groups we got on Facebook, one called Death by Loadout, another one called The Backstage Pass, and you may have also run into me at Sound Image Productions. With me tonight is my good friend and co-host, Kyle Thomas. How you doing, Kyle?
Not too bad, brother. Another day, another dog biscuit.
Man, did you see I got 3 boxes of dog biscuits in the office?
I did.
Did you see that? Yeah, I'm keeping
Yeah, they're
those.
going to stay there.
Just waiting for you to do the right trick, you know. But I got you covered is what I'm saying.
I appreciate
I
you.
got you covered. But this is
He
all
knows
good.
how to keep me around.
Yeah, dog biscuits. Food really is a secret to you, it seems like. Food and
You got to feed my tapeworm.
Some
If you keep my tapeworm happy, I'm going to stick around.
yeah.
Don't
No,
worry
I
about it.
figured that out like a year ago or so. Like he really needs food. I think he has a tapeworm, and you confirmed it. And then we just keep jamming food down your gullet.
Well, yeah. I mean, most people just call her Tina. So Tina's a tapeworm. When I'm usually grumpy, it's most of the time you got to feed Tina.
That's freaking awesome. Listen, I'm going to make a pledge to you right here, right now on TV in front of all our friends. I will not let Tina starve.
Thank
You will
you,
not
brother.
go hungry. All right.
Thank God.
I got you. What's up this week? What did we run into? We had an interesting week, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I just want to thank Jeffrey Raz Butin, the fucking legendary gentleman that he is for last
great?
week's show. It was amazing.
Yeah, me and him hung out till like 1 in the morning. You guys went home and we kicked it for a while and caught up. You know, we don't get to see each other enough, and I love the guy. And it's just an absolute pleasure. And as you know, when we're together, when us guys get together, we don't always go into the deep weeds of the histories that we've shared. But that night was a full walk down memory lane. You remember that time?
It sure was.
And it was just super fun, and I love the guy, and so it was really great. And he came all the way up here, so it was an exceptional interview, and I had a really enjoyable time.
Yeah, such a nice guy, man.
You did good too. Yeah, good person.
Yeah, we also got our Patreon account set up, so you know we're doing this for free for you guys. So if you want to donate, if you want to get a shout out or something like that, you can just donate $1 and we'll give you a shout out on here. We'd love to get it going more and more. Once we get some tiers set up, I think.
So are you referring to that this show is as easily as we make it look? It actually takes some dough to get things done. There's some production costs, some food costs.
Yeah,
that tapeworm doesn't feed itself.
Yeah, exactly. You got to keep
there's
Tina
some other-
happy, and
other
right now
stuff that
she's
we
feeding herself. So you know.
Yeah, well, this is a thing with that. So I'm going to suggest, because I struggle, as you know, to solicit money from anybody. I run all of the things that I do, my pages on Facebook and all this, at my own expense and my own time and so on, because I enjoy it, and it's something that I enjoy doing, and I love our industry, and so I kind of want to represent it the best I can.
Every morning when I come in to you pooping and on your face.
That's really nice of what you just said. That's so
It's a
good.
great thing, dude.
I'm really glad you're sharing that with the people.
Let me tell you, my
That
morning.
is just not true. I don't
My
do that
morning
behavior.
consists
I've
of-
never done that behavior. I
Oh,
don't
no.
even know what he's talking about.
No, we're gonna
Other
make it
people
very
just-
clear.
No.
Me and
don't do it.
Vinny's
Don't make it clear.
relationship.
Don't make it
Every
clear.
single morning, I
You're
walk
making it
in to
clear.
get my coffee and start brewing up a pot for everybody, and I ask him, "Vinny, you pooping and smoking cigarettes in there?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, give me 5, maybe 30 minutes."
At least I'm honest with the 5 to 30 part there.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't drink coffee, so I got no reason to come out.
I know I have no reason to talk to you, but I still do.
You know, if you're gonna make me a nice glass of water, I'm fucking all over it. I'll be right out. You kidding? You son of a bitch, telling the people that story. That's an awful story. You're such a dick. All right, some of that is true, some of it's not. You kind of figure it out for yourselves.
Well, so speaking of new habits that we've formulated,
Yeah.
we've been having Paulie's band coming. Paulie Montero, a
yes.
guest on the show, SIR.
I got a thing.
We got a little pin from him.
Mike, you show them the thing we got.
It's pretty
We got
badass.
these couple of selected heads in the audience. The Noah Beards, it's Charlie Zaricki's. I can think of a couple others. I'll leave that a mystery. We're going to send these out to you. These are cool little metal pens that came from My Heavy Memory. We dig them. The guys gave them to us last night. They're a great band, and we'll send a few of them out and about to our loyal brothers and sisters. So that was fun.
Yeah.
And they were shredding last night,
Dude, that
right
was,
here in this very spot. They
they've
were
been
killing
getting
it.
great. We've been doing rehearsals here for, this is like week 5 now?
I think
Week
it is
6
4 or
now?
5, yeah.
They've been killing it, so it's
Yeah.
been a pleasure to have them in. And of course, we have a bunch of Diablo Digital's equipment installed, not only for the show, but also for, doing all the recording and everything.
Well, Diablo Digital, so we can explain this to the people. So Diablo Digital is a company that's right here in this building with us, and so it's like a B2B brother company type situation. And that's Greg Price and Brad Maddox. And a lot of people know those names. That's probably number 1 and number 3 best engineers in the world. They've Black Sabbath, Rush, some of the biggest bands.
Right, even the bands that they're not out with, they have their recording equipment and their console rentals out.
Exactly. That's what Diablo Digital does. They make custom Pro Tool rigs that go out with the Rolling Stones, U2, Metallica. And when those shows get captured, they get captured on Diablo Digital's equipment because these guys are known for making the most hardy. I mean, you could damn near drive a tank into them, and they're going to still capture your show.
Well, I mean, let me tell you, that kind of just leads right into this gentleman on the table.
Oh, geez.
If you piss off Brad and Greg,
Yeah.
we have your replacement.
Yeah.
We haven't come up with a solid name, so we'll call him Vinny 2 right now, but he's a very simplified version, pink beard and a small Sharpie. We've designed it with one eye so he can see less and we get away with more. But if you piss them off, this is your replacement. I even have another beard color just in case people don't like pink.
So are you saying if I'm not playing my cards right next week, I could be replaced
Very
by
easily,
Vinny
my
2,
friend.
the one-eyed host?
Mike's back there with the microphone.
The audience should vote on this. Go to the YouTube. Where do we have a subvert?
You know what? This has to be it. We're posting a YouTube poll about this.
We're going to poll on this. Now, if you think that Vinny 2, one-eyed yellow guy, he's got cool hair, I'll give him that.
He does, man.
Would be a better host, then I may lose my job. But, I just want what's best for the show. Give the people the best show. If he can do a better job, well, I'm going to let them decide.
Yeah. We'll put it up on the YouTube poll.
We brought it down to that. So we'll throw up a poll on it. You guys can vote on it and let us know. Because, it's a valid thing. The guys are complaining. I run them ragged. So you never know. Maybe next week it might be a little easier show.
A little slimmer.
He might have a totally different interviewing style. He could be an extraordinary interview. That could be fucking the next Dan Rather right there.
We'll try him out.
We're going to find out.
All right.
We're going to find out.
Hey, and another thing, Ian Peacock. Across the water, across the pond, we got your stickers.
The legend in his own right. What is that, Ian? Who is that? Is that AC Zemantis custom
I think
guitars?
those are your stickers, bud.
What? We got those for you, Daddy. All right, so Ian asked us to reach out and collect these up for him. He's across the pond. We did it. I'll send them off to you, baby. Keep an eye. We just wanted to let you see him on the air.
Yeah. And the last thing I really want to touch on is the good news here in Outside Land, at least planning a Halloween show, 31st, something like that. I don't know who's performing, but it was such good news today.
We don't know who the lineup is.
No, I don't.
This show's good for 80 to 100,000 people for 3 days in the park. This is Golden Gate Park, one of the coolest places to do a show. Absolutely thrilling. And they have seemed to book it. You saw Coachella got moved into 2022. Did you see that?
I did. Things are starting to move around.
But it is a little movement. That's the 4th time Coachella has moved.
Yeah.
But I really feel like we were just talking amongst ourselves about this Outside Lands, which is a huge 3-day festival. I think The Who was last year. Was it The Who? The Who and Metallica headlined? Regardless, it's a big fucking show. And they're going for October, late October, Halloween area. And that sounds, with all we know right now, that sounds very doable. Very doable. So
it was so cool
crossed
to hear it, man. It's like something's coming in. So.
Oh, and look, your wife chimed in. She had something to say to you. I can't read that from here. What's that say?
Poking the bear. She knows I was fucking.
No, it's above that.
You.
It says, Kyle, stop picking on Vinny. He's going to destroy you.
See, he hasn't popped his teeth out. The only time I need to start running, because I'm faster than him, is when he kicks out his teeth. So I'm good. Hey, Jackie, don't worry.
This is my love of my life, my beautiful Jackie. All right, guys, listen. You good?
I'm good, brother.
You got biscuits over there? You got stuff to keep you busy?
You have my biscuits.
All right. I'm about to do this thing with Bob, and I just want to make sure you're okay.
Well, dude,
you and Vinny, too, hang out. Make sure he's got the eye on the screen so he can see the show.
He's good with me.
You get him in training. All right. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And Nate, thank you for
You treat him right. He's from my hometown.
Yeah, I'm not gonna allow that to be talked about. We're gonna just deny that it even happened.
That's fair. The people that know will know.
All right, maybe we'll get around to fucking bumfuck Idaho in a minute, but let's get onto the action, to the meat of this whole damn thing. The reason we're here, people, we're here because we're, as we always say, we're very lucky on this show. We have some extraordinary friends, some wonderful, incredible, lifelong friends that do crazy, cool shit. And tonight is just no exception. We've got a guy that's known locally. He's kind of a celebrity, a legend in our area. He's known as the voice of Napa Valley. He's an amazing, extraordinary guitarist. I cannot stipulate that enough. Exceptional guitarist. Has an incredible band called Deadlies. Has done and worked to and fro. He's a PA to the stars. He's a stagehand. We've come up with him in some of our biggest venues. He's usually the guy dealing with the stars, keeping them out of our hair and keeping them right. And they just love him. We love him. He's the one. He hosts his own radio show. Get this. He has done well over 100 episodes. We got a relatively large channel up here. It's called KOFY, I think. KOFY. We call it Coffee. He's the guy that hosts the $1 million movie type thing. I mean, we're going to get all into this. It's the one. It's the only. It's the great Bob St. Laurent. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, Benny.
Way good to see you, Daddy.
Man.
Way good to see you, baby.
Pal, New Hampshire in the house.
Yeah, all right, that's enough of that.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Or he's in trouble right now for the whole bathroom thing. He's not getting out of the seat on that one. All right, listen, it really is great to see you. It's been too damn long. I know we've both been stuck up in our abodes trying to stay out of the way, keep ourselves healthy. We're not young men, as it were, anymore. What have you been doing to keep yourself busy, my brother?
I've literally been watching this show from the boat,
Well, there's an hour a day.
That's an hour that I can catch with just me and my cat on the yacht, and just trying to podcast on board and go do 4 hours of radio a day, and that's it. Little glass box back to the boat.
Well, you've always had your hands in the radio world, and you're an excellent DJ. You really understand how to place things in order and get it so there's a flow and a rhythm to things. And I've always kind of wanted to steal a little bit, copy your style.
It's all yours.
Thanks, buddy. Let me ask you. I mentioned that you got into the business. I know you early on from places like the Shoreline, and running and gunning. How did you get into the business? What led you to the live production world?
Okay, so I'll do a brief thing. So in the beginning, there was Tony Isabella at AKG.
Yeah.
So she helped us with St. Laurent. So I was in the BGP office. When things got slow, well, why don't you just get a job? Because we were whining about money.
Yeah.
So I did Blue Coat for, I think there was me and Jimmy and another friend and one of the other Hair brothers. We couldn't do security because they have apparently you're not allowed to pile drive, okay? Yeah. This is bad. It's frowned upon.
They frown on the pile driving.
No pile drive. But in the day, they come over the front of the wall.
Yeah.
They come over.
Yeah.
And at the third time.
You collect them and drill them into the ground.
You drill them because that's it.
Yeah.
You get two for free.
Down. Yeah.
Right? And then you huck them. Or if you push them out by their arm, things, So they decide, do something else. What else do you want to do? We'll bang some steel. So it started at a day on the green, banging steel.
Yeah.
And then from there, it just, I figured out, go up.
Yeah.
Get out of the way.
Rig it, baby.
Just get to rigging.
That's right.
Get to high flyman.
That's right.
And did that with the Dead for a while. And, did the climbing carpenter trip and just worked every part. Just stay up in the air. Ended up at Cal Expo. I think in the beginning I was training with Fred White.
Oh, Freddie White.
Fred.
I got to get Fred in here.
The shit he put up with.
Freddie,
oh, my God.
Well,
that man's a saint.
He's a little cantankerous at this point. And I think he'd be an extraordinary interview. What do you think about him?
Oh, my God, yeah. If you can get him to tell you the stories.
Thailand, good luck.
No, Fred was the best, man. But, boy, just don't be late to a call. And
no, bad.
I don't care if you partied all night. You're going to work. Get up there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's your fault.
No excuse, Fred.
That was your choice.
Yeah, that's right.
Fly.
Yeah, get it done.
Right.
Yeah,
we're hanging truss in the back of Cal Expo today, and you're going to do it.
That's right.
So you learn quickly, So I just worked my way through there, and then eventually everywhere. Worked for Danny Nellis with the Union for a little bit, and the Greek Theater, and Zellerbach, Cal Performances.
Absolutely.
So worked everything there, At the same time, so always had the band, and that's how we keep it going, and then you just do both. So I've always been on both sides, and
you've always you seem to be able to occupy both sides well. You have your showman side to you, and your backstage guy side.
Well, that's it. But I figured after 20 years of working the deck and working, that's when I figured out time to go to the office. And I think it was Darce, because I'd moved to Hawaii. I thought I'd retired, opened a flower shop and an art gallery in Paia, Maui, and thought I was retired. And I ended up coming back, and Darcy calls me.
Oh, boy.
Because she knows I'm back on the main. Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, she want to check the Shoreline.
Yeah. Come on down to Shoreline. Just run. I'm like, what? Yeah, just working the production. I go, I don't want to work. No, you're not working. You drive. And then I went, okay, once I did that, then the next, I don't know.
I enjoy her a great deal. She was always so good at that job. You know, she had her hand in all the pies that were, everything that was going on. She was just.
She could make it go.
Yeah.
And her little list, and she's settling at night. She always just got it. It's like I watch her, no matter what, we all been going
like
16, 18 hours.
She's just this tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Anybody. Like, keeping all of us heathens going. And yeah, it was always kind of spectacular to me. You had time with Bill Graham as an artist.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Well, that was the first, I think about 2.5 years or so.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, one of the biggest honors that I still to this day, here, I'll give it to you a short story. So, remember when, what was it? The old Waldorf Wolfgangs? The one that burned down on Columbus. Okay.
Oh, fucking.
Wolfies. No.
No. It was. I know exactly what
you know which one I mean.
Yeah.
The one that had the fire.
Yeah.
So the posters were all on the wall. Well, I had a box of posters with 5 of the posters that burned. And I walked into the office and I go, Bill, I got some of those posters you lost. He said, go see Pompili. So I went over to Pompili's office and go, yeah, I got posters that were on the wall. And he goes, what do you want? I go, nothing. It was just, there were like 5 of them. He said,
talk about
you don't want
some
anything?
Cool points.
Hold on. So he, but he picks up his phone and he goes, cool. And he signs a check and goes, Bill says, go over to Guitar Center, buy a bass. And I'm like, go buy a bass. I'm like, okay, but here's the good part. So remember, it was around, we were on A Street. It was around the corner. Yes. GC was right there. Mm-hmm. So Jimmy and I walk over, and I pick out a 76 Fender Precision. It's on the wall. They want $1,150 for it, right?
Oh, dude.
So I tell the guy, look, see the check? I know you put no more than $200 in that. I'll give you $350. Take this check back to your boss in the back office and tell him what's up.
Yeah.
And come back, $350. Yeah, he says you can have it, $350. Here you go. Whoa. I go, cool, give me the receipt. Went right back to the office, to Bill's office. I go, Bill, thanks for the bass, man. Here's the receipt. He looked at the receipt. Nice job. I was making a point. You know, I appreciate what he did, but I want him to know I ground, man.
Yeah. No,
I'm not paying full pop with your open check.
Yeah, that was pretty perfect way to handle that. He was big on like clever. You know, he appreciated clever. He appreciated wily. You know that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was his deal, and it sounds like you handled that just perfect.
So, and then from there, obviously, I was fine in the office, so I pretty much got to do it. You know,
it's
where I wanted to go.
Rarefied space. You know, to be working in that office with those people at that time.
Remember just walking around the office? Everybody was. Everybody was there.
A little pachinko-ish, you know, and people coming and going. And I mean, this is really the who's who of the game.
Right.
And it's hard to explain this to folks that maybe don't understand. But, you know, it was not unusual to see the Dead walk through with fucking the airplane or fucking Santana to be just kicking it, strumming. They were doing something.
There are always people in the office.
It was a normal day at work. Yeah, and you know, I feel like some of the guys that get to be in the Bill Graham days is kind of a special time in rock and roll.
I got a coffee table from the office. You know, when we closed it down?
Yeah.
I got a little black coffee table. It's on the yacht. It's like my little Bill table. It's
that's pretty cool.
There it is.
Yeah, one day that thing.
One piece.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
All right, listen, I'm going to dig around. You know how I do these things. I'm just going to wander around like an aimless drunk in the alleyway. Okay, in your career. Tell us about the time you were driving around with Tim McGraw and you had a little bit of an altercation. What happened there? What happened with the Tim McGraw situation? Tell people.
That's a funny one.
Tell the people what you did.
Okay. So I think Ronnie was working gate D or whatever. But okay, so we're going to go out. So block my road because I'm going to jump with the Suburbans and we do a motorcade. And so here's the deal. Just block it so I can go up and make my turn. So as we go out, they go left. Right? So I go left and go, where are we going? I'm following the Cherries.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And I get the road blocked right there. And I'm like, no, we're stuck. Wait. So Tim's going, we got to go, man. And they're starting to get up on the windows, right? Yeah. And I'm like, boom. And I hit the cop. Move. And he's like, what? He moves like Tim, hit him again, Bob. Boom, I hit the cop again. We gotta go. I kind of pushed him this way a little bit and did the you know how the berm was on the left?
Yeah.
Over the berm and then out and got to Shoreline Boulevard and around. But it was one of those, they're on the truck, Bob.
That's funny.
So what are you gonna do? I mean, the motorcades, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Especially because the cops gather around us, right?
Yeah.
The long hairs, and like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And I'm explaining, watch.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, we're not, I can kind of tell them how we do it.
Yeah.
Like a little bit.
Yeah, give them a little.
I'll give you a little. So when we come out at night, you think everybody's still there, but I've literally got the truck on the deck, right? Doors are open.
Yeah.
Whatever, bevies and fresh clothes or whatever, because we're going to go from here to the jet port.
That's right.
Before you even know Elvis has left the building.
But they don't understand a lot of the, especially at that venue, a lot of those are fly dates. You know, some
Right.
of these guys come in with their tour, but a lot of these guys are dropping in. They're flying in.
Whoop,
You know,
whoop.
Paulie's bringing in the back line from SIR. You
Right.
know, and so our job is to get them the heck out of there as quick as possible.
As quick as possible.
sanely as possible to mitigate issues with the crowd. And you're kind of a doctor at that. And so sometimes it does help when the cops are on the same page, though.
Right.
You know, that's kind of
They
a
were
thing.
usually cool. They're happy to be in on it.
Yeah,
You know, you're
yeah,
running
yeah.
Steven Tyler, you're running whoever it is you're running,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Bono has the flags, you
Yeah,
know. That's a good run there.
Yeah,
you know.
well, he lives out loud, let's say. You know, you mentioned Cal Expo. This is one of the, it's hard. If you haven't done Cal Expos, it's kind of hard to explain them. This is some next level shit. And I know you did Pyro one year for Van Halen. I'd like to hear about that.
Jesus.
Fucking Van Halen and Pyro.
We were shooting
Cal Expo 3, I think.
so yeah, and Sam was in the band. We were shooting Standing on Top of the World. So we're doing a video.
Yeah.
So the manager tells us, okay, let's take the pyro up, man, triple it or something, triple it.
We need bigger Pyro.
Make it big.
go.
So we tripled everything. We just tripled everything.
There wasn't a lot of math involved.
There wasn't. It was
This
old
like,
day. It was
just
old
put
school.
more.
Make it big.
Just
Make
do
it
more
look
of
really
it.
cool.
Fuck it.
So when we hit the fireworks, you can watch the video. You'll see it. It goes. We've got the roof, but there's that door. The door we go through on top was
Yeah.
still open.
Yeah.
So some of the shrapnel went through and caught the manager and hit him, and he was on fire backstage. Fred was at that gig. I think he might have laughed on that. That's fucking funny. What are you guys doing?
Yakubowski was on this gig, I believe. Jim Yakubowski was the engineer for that.
Really?
Yeah, and we I believe we touched on this subject a little bit, but yeah, fucking hilarious. It's
Like,
so perfect, so rock and
It's
roll.
like nobody really got hurt. It was rock and roll. It was
a little
light
fire.
it up.
It was
We
a little
lit it
baby
up.
fire. It was no big,
It was
we tapped him
fire.
out. He rolled around a little bit, and he was fine.
He was fine.
It was rock and roll. I mean, some bitch.
That was a day.
So I know you spent some time with Madge, the great one. She's kind of the Elvis and her, I was going to be mean there. She's big. We're talking about, of course, Madonna, the lovely Madonna. And that you had spent some time with her. Tell us about the man-sized tissue.
Oh, jeez. We're going to keep this tight because Em was like, there's an NDA, and I would never give up her secrets. or anybody's.
Nobody's asking you to
But
break any in.
this one here is just cute because she has tissues that come in a flat box like this, right?
These are not the everyday. This is not fucking Kleenex. This is some next level.
Man-sized tissues.
Man-sized tissues.
Hun, could you get me some man-sized tissues? I guess. What do they look like, Em? They're like this box. I'm like, is this European? Because I don't know what this flat box. They got them. So I go out for like 4 hours and I'm like failing my mission. As a PA, you do not fail your mission.
You come back with the shit.
You're shoreline, you'll drive to Napa or Santa Rosa if you
Whatever
need
gotta do.
something.
That's
Whatever
right.
it takes.
That's right.
I can't find the tissues. 4 hours, I call back and I called her assistant. I go, tell him I still haven't found them. And I'm out. She goes, oh, tell him don't worry about it. Come on back. Okay. You just spent a couple $100 for me to go look for tissue. It's like,
I'm sure she was sweating the
no, she didn't
financial
care.
side
That's
of
why
that.
I'm like, okay. No, I learned to, go just whatever they want.
Gotta
Mariah
go in
Carey
front of
likes the
something.
caramel popcorn from Ghirardelli.
Yeah.
I know that run's happening if she comes in.
Yeah. Well, stuff like that. If you have a repeat customer, as it were,
Right.
You can kind of fill in some spots before time of. But sometimes I think a real PA is not uncommon. Throat coat on the fly. Go out and get some weird shit that isn't necessarily at every Walgreens or whatever.
Right.
And so that's some tricks we keep up our sleeves to make it happen. We want our artists happy. We want the show to go well. And if you're Mary J. Blige and you say, I want you to go get me some vodka, tell us about how Mary J. and her vodka runs go.
Okay, so with Mary, she likes the Escalades. She wants us all to drive Escalades.
Yeah.
It's just a thing, okay? So yeah, I can say that. So it's 11:30. They're done with the gig. We're at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
can you run get us a couple cases of Absolute? Somebody give us somebody to peel off like 3, you know, and I'm like, pow. Okay, there, it's 3. We're in Oakland.
Yeah.
And I got a black Escalade that's blacked out. I'm going to go downtown with $3 grand in my pocket to the liquor store.
You might not come back.
Yeah, I'm going to need another truck. So I got another truck to escort me to go get the vodka. And I went over to Jack London Square. Yeah, you know, the JV warehouse or whatever's down there.
Absolutely.
You know, and then had the truck behind me. Then had the manager push it out because it might have been $5 grand. I don't know. It was a lot of vodka and a lot of money.
Yeah,
and
cheap.
But the nicest part was, honest to God, a week later I get this. We're so sorry that you had to go do that dangerous run, and we appreciate it so much, and thank you, blah, blah, blah. Love, Mary J.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Well, that is it,
she's
on
a
my
class.
ship. That's one of those things that's
She's a
out.
class
It's like,
act.
Mary, are you kidding me?
Yeah, she's
Really?
a class act. You know,
That's the payoff. That's the trophy.
well, she's a true professional and
Class act.
What a hell of a singer. I mean, nobody can.
No.
I mean, she can really belt. She's an excellent singer, but really understands the game. And at her peak was a treat to work with. And she was always very gracious to the folks around her. You know, one of those artists that understands it's good to get the crew on your side because we'll pretty much do anything for you if you're acting right. And
Fact.
Yeah. There's almost no hurdle that that we can't surmount with the proper kind of motivation. And a lot of that's just treating each other good. You know. Speaking of class acts, tell us about your first time with David Bowie. Now, we've all got a first time with, well, not all of us, but many of us have a first time with David Bowie. Now, you know, it's hard to explain this because, you know you're going to deal with David Bowie.
Right.
So in your mind, you're like, fucking, Ziggy Stardust is coming in here.
Right. It's as big as Jagger.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's
yeah.
Bowie.
So you're like every
Bowie.
nerve in me's on, waiting for, and then the fucking, the Great White Duke walks in, or whatever they call it, and it's a moment.
Right.
It's hard to explain this to people because to have David Bowie kind of roll up on you and say, "Hi, I'm Dave." It's like, it's a little anticlimactic because you're expecting maybe this big giant rock star persona. He's turned sideways and he's very thin. You know, he's a kind of
He's
tall,
thin, but sharp
guy.
dressed.
No, he's
You know, I think he had a powder blue suit the first time I met him. Just simple with a T-shirt.
yeah,
you
very,
know.
but classy fucking guy.
Yeah.
Classy guy, but just so aware that we're having that moment. That he tries to make you feel better. That was my experience with him.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's a very enduring memory of the few times that we were able to work with him and how gracious he was. You know, I was digging through something last week's guest, and this was just sitting here on the desk. You know, when we were out with Prince, I was digging through some cards, and I rolled up on this old working pass from Prince. Looks like 2007, and that was one of those rare moments when same exact thing, because I had dealt with him on both sides of his personality. You know what I mean?
It's not the same thing as Bowie. Maybe from a distance, it's the same thing as Bowie. But once the interaction happens.
Prince is a special case, but he, you know, at that show I remember distinctly him being extraordinarily receptive, and Dave could do that. How was your time with Dave Bowie?
I think by far, because I had that built in my head, and I'm going to get him at the Jet, and it's like, I don't even have a Jet request or the club request, or it's just pull up out front. And I'm like, that's weird. Is he going to have a big entourage of security and stuff? Okay, I got enough room. All right, we're good. So as soon as I pull up to like the entrance Jetport and put it into park, I see him walking like right at me by himself, and I look at him and do a hey, and he just opens the door. Hello, I'm David.
Yeah.
And he just leans in there. I'm like, hi, I'm Bob. I'm going to be your PA. I know. You hungry? I'm like, yeah. You like sushi? Let's go get some sushi. I went, all right, I'll find a butcher. And from there, I went, wait a minute. And I'm driving going, all that time that I was thinking, what the hell's Bowie going to be like? He's going to get in and go, hi, I'm David. Go get some grinds.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I learned. He showed me that when you hit a certain level, woof, you're right back to just treat me like a regular person.
Yeah.
I want to have a regular.
Well, this is, I know this part is, it's a while back, but it was after he had moved into New York, and I think that changed him a little bit. You know, he would walk through the streets. And in New York, it's a little different than in L.A.
Right.
Because the people will see that it's you, and at most kind of heads up you. They let you be a star, and they don't hassle you for the most part. You can literally be Robert De Niro and cruise down, Greenwich Village or anywhere in Manhattan, and for the most part, you can kind of live your life. And I think he got accustomed to that, and kind of the American sensibility with that, and it seemed like it transferred into his backstage energy. So I always enjoyed the guy.
Class act again.
Super class act. Evenings with Erykah Badu.
Oh, we can go down quite a road on this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, honestly, just because of the time that it is right now. Literally, when it came into the office, who wants Erykah Badu? There was this thing of people thinking that she was racist, right? And I went, I don't think so. I'll take her. She turned out to be let me tell you what happened. Okay, she's a vegan.
Yeah.
Soft-spoken, lovely woman. So immediately we had a rapport. Honey, can you get me some, I want noodles and this and that. It's real particular. I went, yeah, there's a chef. I can go downtown and I'll get it for you. Cool. Did you have that ready, like when we get off? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. She was, you're just a love. Hugs. And I'm like, this is one of the nicest women I've ever met. You guys didn't get it. You don't understand.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what people say ever about people you haven't met, because they can be so far off, man.
Yeah, routinely.
So she gets off the show. I think we're at the Fox Theater, Oakland.
Yeah,
sold out.
Great venue.
Yeah, killed it. She gets down. She gets in the van, and I've got her noodles waiting. And she sits in the front with me, puts her feet up on the dash, bang gets in the back. She goes, you want to hang out tonight? I go, absolutely. What do you want to do? She goes, let's go to the city. I go, okay, we're going to the city. I'm driving. Got any coordinates? Where we should go? Yeah, just get off here. We're going to get off on the first thing. Okay, yeah, we're going to the punchline. I'm like 12:30. She goes, don't worry about it. So just find a place for us to park. Your security, just walk with us. And I'm like, it's honestly one of the biggest honors I've ever had. I'm the only white guy. And I'm like, look, these are the nicest people I've ever worked for. They're taking me out to go somewhere to the punchline when it's closed. Yeah. We go to the back door. This black seat, they knock, the thing opens. Come on. We all go in. And I'm like, what are we doing? She goes, we're going to hang out with my friend Dave. We walk in. I kid you not, Dave Chappelle. It's freaking Dave Chappelle. And her sister's with us. And I get to meet her family. And we all sit at this table. And I don't drink. And they're like, sure, do you want drinks? Well, how about a cookie? My sister makes great cookie. So I'm eating a cookie, right?
Yeah.
And I sat there from 1 till 4:30 in the morning while Dave worked out his routine. He just needed to work it out, and he was friends with Erykah.
Yeah,
and so it was, hey, bring your friends down, bring the band down, come down. I'm going to work on some material. One of the best nights of my running career ever. I'm like, nicest people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just shows, don't ever judge people, man. People are people.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There's some folks in the game. We were talking about this earlier that have some reputation that they've acquired through the years, but it's a generalization, because so often it's really the night you catch people on too. Some people are just misunderstood and misrepresented with kind of generalizations. Other times, some guys are just like anybody. Some nights you're more down than others, and you
can have a bad night.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And somehow that becomes your reputation, And a lot of us behind the scenes will talk with each other, and it takes one guy to kind of throw the idea off of what a person is like, what an artist is like to work with. I noticed you're wearing your NAMM shirt.
Always.
Yeah.
It's every year.
It was a bummer that they didn't have a show this
It's
year.
so sad, because that's where we all see each other every year.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's in the same place. We're all at the hotels. There's parties every night.
Parnelli's or whatever it is.
Right, and you make your sponsors happy and go, wank in a tank somewhere.
Right.
Do your thing.
Yeah, they should be back. I guess they tried to do a little thing. I know the boys at Signal to Noise podcast did a little thing with them. So it was a streaming event, but it was, it's so night and day different. It was just no way to recreate the NAMM experience.
No, because you can walk around the corner,
Look,
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
You know,
I
I
mean,
was thinking
anybody.
they should have had like Don Dokken walk through the set on the streaming thing. You know how it is.
Right.
Don's always like wandering.
Everybody's
something
wandering.
Like that, you know what I mean? It would have made it like more like, okay, this is Nam for sure. Yeah, I get
By
it.
day
All
2
right.
or 3, we're all
Yeah.
just going up and down.
Whatever. So you mentioned that you spent some time with Iron Maiden, one of the best live touring bands on the world, and you know, a unique cast of characters, an incredibly bitchin' crew. Talk to us about your time with Iron Maiden.
Right off the bat, I think it was Dave Murray goes, "Are you?"
Excellent guitarist. Excellent fucking guitarist.
I'll say it. Dave's like, "Are you a fucking musician?" I'm like, "No, I'm a surfer." He goes, "Good," and I'm like, "Wow." That was close.
Yeah. You answered that one the right way.
Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, don't be a musician. I'm a surfer, and I am. So I was like, I surf. No, I'm just surf, right?
Yeah.
But one of my all-time favorite bands growing up, I can't go.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Steve Harris? Really? I mean, come on.
Steve Harris is a god.
Steve, right?
He's a fucking god.
That's you know. So and from a young bass player on, that was Steve Harris was the guy. But I didn't tell him that. But these guys, as you know, they roll in. They're like cowboys, man. They just leathers and they hit it. They're set and then leathers and then
These guys have been doing this since the late.
I mean,
70s. They got this down.
They roll, man. But here, I can give you one. I'll give you one, and I'm sure they wouldn't be mad at me for sharing this one. And this is the only one I'll give you. We get to the jet port. You know the one at San Jose?
I do.
Okay, around the back. So you go to the gate. Gate opens. You got to go to the yellow line, right? And then what happens? You wait for the gate to close.
That's right.
Then you go to your jet.
That's right.
These guys want to go.
Yeah.
And like managers sitting next to me in the front, and they're screaming, just go, Bob. Let's go. They're fucking like it. And I look over at the boss and I go, what are we doing? He goes, go. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be nuts, man. Whoa! And so I punch it, hit out like to the tarmac and make a left, and that's our jet. I go, yeah, I know, it's not hard to spot.
Is that the one that says Iron Maiden on it? Is that the jet you're talking about?
But I kid you not, I see the yellow lights start coming out, and by the time I get to and they're screaming, "Go for the plane, Bob! Go for the plane!" 11 trucks are chasing us. By the time I get to the jet, there's 11 little bugs hauling me like, "Oh no!" And I go to the nose of the jet, like right next to it. And I go, "You want help?" And they go, "No." And I look out to the security guys, and they go, "We know. Stay in the truck."
Yeah.
We know. And they all kind of do this. Oh, God help us. Let's just get them back in their plane and get them out of here.
The headache would be gone if they just allowed this to happen.
They just boxed us.
Yeah.
And then once they got on the jet, you can go. And I'm like, if that had been me, I'd be freaking shot and jail and
at least thrown down on the ground and
beat up on the
around
ground.
a little
Anything.
bit.
But no, it's stay. You can go. I like working for Maiden, man.
Well,
These
and
guys rock.
they know this is a little game they play, so they know that they're going to be able to get away with this.
Right.
You know,
and I'm sure it's exciting to scare the PA.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 they get away with it. You know, maybe some officious little asshole will be like, you know, but yeah, it just makes it's a little bit extra fun.
Sometimes working for your heroes can be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, this was a little vague to me. I wasn't sure about this. Did you actually work with Gibson Guitars? You have some kind of project you did with them?
Oh, well, that's interesting. You pulled that.
Yeah.
I do a charity benefit golf tournament up in the Napa Valley.
Well, why don't we speak to the nature of that? That's a very specific thing.
Okay, so I started, because I've been a radio and the morning radio guy for, 12 years or whatever.
Yeah.
We always have 2 jobs, unless you're on the road, but I wasn't on the road. So I started in radio and it just kept going. So many years later, I figured, well, my turn to try and figure something out. And the Pound, because I work with the shelter, Napa County Animal Shelter.
Yeah.
They were low on food, and I'm like, how's that possible in the Napa Valley? And that's where I got the idea was, hold on, I'm going to do a little tournament at Vintners. We'll do 9, and I'll give you the money so we can buy food for the animals, because I have them on my show every week, and we do the adoptable trip. I love fur buddies. So I'm like, what? Low on food in the Napa Valley? No, we will buy them food.
Right.
So I had the first one, and it went really well. Sold and plus, and gave them some money, fed the animals, and went, okay, so now this year, I went and talked to a couple of the mayors, and they said, go, do it, go. I'm like, can I do a tournament? Will it be all right? They're like, yeah, no, we need to get some things rolling. So I started another one, and then I joined a friend, Katie Hamilton Schaefer, who owns Feast It Forward, because she's really good at it. And she has a lot of, friends too. And I went, Katie, you want to help me do this? Yeah, and brought in my other friend, Kelly. So anyway, it turns out Gibson is working with Feast It Forward. She goes, well, wait, Gibson might be in, because what do you want to do? And I said, well, this year, I've been working with the kids at the Napa High music program. They don't have guitars. So I'm like, let's get them all a guitar. Hold on, I'm buying guitars. Wait, we're going to get Gibson? Hold on, let's put them together. I'll buy the guitars cost off the money, and then I'll shift them and bring them over to the high school. So, boom, partnership was formed.
Pretty sweet.
And so now I called, the teacher last week and went, how many kids you got in the class right now? 28? I went, cool, thank you. 28, okay, I need 28 guitars, please. So we'll get them. We'll fill it up.
Sounds perfect. You're going to do that with
the thing, we got to keep actual musicians going. I get all the other forms of music.
Sure.
But where we come from, we need kids that beat on things and play basses and guitars.
I have to admit, I do struggle. So music to me currently, you know the kind of music I'm down with for the most part. We played on the set here. Me and you roll a very similar place.
Yeah.
And so I try to step into the fray. Now I'm going to sound like an old fuck right now, but I try to put my ear out to what's going on right now. We just had this little weirdness with the Grammys that a lot of people are talking about, and I'm not going to go down that road. I don't have an opinion on it. But a lot of times I'm listening to this shit, and it sounds like a lot of buzzers and bells and beeps and bops. And yeah, there's a lot of finger work. Not the kind I'm used, not a lot of fretboard work.
Thank you. Yeah. It's where we come from. It's how we were raised. It's just we know, we want to hear the,
I need that.
Right? But not from a boom, boom.
This again, because it makes me think of like my parents when they were tripping on us with the punk rock or some of the hard rock shit that we got into, when Motley came out, or when we'd be listening to Iron Maiden, and they thought we were listening to the Devil's music, and we were going to hell in a handbasket.
The Devil's music.
So I guess this is a thing old people do, as you don't understand what's going on, you're basing your judgments on what has come before.
Right.
The one place I struggle with, and I don't know if you notice this, it seems like the young people don't have any intellectual curiosity for what's come before. Why is what you have now? Where'd that
come from?
Yeah, and so it's the checking back a little bit. That it would be shocking to me to think that we might have a generation that never heard a Led Zeppelin song or a Pink Floyd song or some of these masterworks, even Duran for that matter.
Right.
Some of these extraordinary bands that came before that influenced many of the artists that now play through these kind of alternative ways.
We have to back up to Chuck Berry.
See, fucking ain't right.
Right?
The
you got to go to Chuck Berry. Then you can move. But if you don't back it up to Chuck, you don't get it. You don't know where it came from.
We had one of Chuck's engineers on here, and we were talking about Chuck, and of course, it had no choice but to come up. Chuck was Chuck.
Yeah.
He was a badass, but Chuck was one of the guys, the rule setters of like, this is how you do this business. You want to get paid? You want people to treat you respectfully? Follow the Chuck Berry rules. The Chuck Berry rules, which is pay me before I go on.
Before I go on.
Well, I'm not going on. I will pick up my guitar and walk out and be gone. Yeah, like Chuck was a badass. You've probably seen that documentary footage of him going off on Keith Richards. Because Keith Richards couldn't play along with him.
No. Are you kidding? I sat there so long ago.
So awesome.
That's Keith Richards, man.
And Keith is
no.
You can see Keith's like, he doesn't know what to do. Nobody ever talked to Keith Richards that way. It's awesome.
And Keith is so cool about it. He knows.
He's fucking dealing with Chuck Berry.
It's Chuck Berry.
He's not the legend in the room. Chuck Berry's
a legend.
Yeah. That's the Godfather. You're just a kid right now, and
right.
you should shut the fuck up and listen. And Chuck was not beyond smacking a bitch. I mean, Snack would put hands on. He was very known for putting hands on. And so, yeah, you got to take it back to the beginning.
Take it back
Jerry
to Chuck,
Lee Lewis,
and then,
some of these Little Richard, frankly. And now,
oh my God.
I mean, really, some would credit with being the guy who invented rock and roll.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a rich history. And I hate the idea, and I could be wrong about this, that it's not being curated very well. It's not. transferring to the generations up as it should. But I guess we're just.
No, they think Bruno Mars was actually really singing. That's his song.
Bruno Mars. I'll give him that.
But did he kill it?
Talented little motherfucker. I mean, really strong performer.
But at the Grammys, he was doing Little Richard.
I always feel like he's channeling a little bit of James Brown too, though.
Well, there's some. He always has some James Brown.
Yeah, he's got that James Brown swagger. He understands.
He's a showman.
Yeah, he's a full showman. He's an extreme expert, musician. He's the real deal. One of the few guys I can point to and go, keep an eye on that kid. He's killing it so far, and he's got a bright, feels like he may be able to carry some stuff forward and link it to the past and that heritage and that kind of connective tissue. So very special stuff. I know you went out on tour with very special artists, a couple of artists, group of artists. Lisa Marie Presley with Billy Bob Thornton. Now,
2 different tours. Yeah, we toured.
Is it 2? I thought they were. The way my research, I found it in that is I was thinking they would be together, and I was trying to imagine that in my mind's eye because
all of us together, that whole crew.
Yeah,
No, Lisa's enough for one tour.
No doubt about that. Yeah, tell us about Lisa.
Lisa, once again, all the way. You get that high. Well, Lisa just wants to be normal. Honest to God, she just sound check, sweatpants, and I don't mean Sean John's like Costco sweat and a t-shirt or a tank. It's sound check.
Yeah.
Right, and then she'll hit it at night like the rest of it,
Yeah.
But on the road, she took care of us. We stayed like in the nice places, and we ate the same. Okay, I'll give you one. This is how cool they were. We're playing the El Rey.
Famous place.
So the Deadlies, my surf band opening, and
weren't you the house band there?
What's that?
Were you guys the house band there?
We were a house band at Creepy Coffee. We were a house band at Six Flags. We've been
Six
house
Flags,
band at
Six Flags. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. But we ended up going out with Lisa, and so we were playing the El Rey in L.A., and we get done, and I don't know if you know Marciano, her manager.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Oh, my God, he's classic. Love that guy. Comes in and yells, "Do you own a fucking shirt?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, put it on. Lisa's taking you to dinner." I'm like, "Oh, I'll put on a shirt. Right on." So where are we going? Follow the bus. So we go to the Beverly Hills Hotel, and it's midnight. And I'm like, "We're going to dinner at midnight?" "Yeah, we're going to the Polo Club, don't worry." So we get in. They sit down at their table, and Priscilla's like, "Sit there, honey." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So this is the whole family, right? And Lockwood and everybody, we're all there. But it's like, because we're in L.A., Priscilla's there, her mom's there.
Of course.
So, and by the way, abs, man. Like, oh, she's got abs, Priscilla. But anyway, so I think.
He likes Priscilla. It's hard not to like Priscilla. She's a fabulous woman.
To this day, just you look at her and go.
She's pretty amazing.
Talk about a first moment of,
wow.
Right?
Right.
So anyway, we go in the Polo Club, midnight. You sit, Priscilla, no, you sit. I sit and the waitress or waiter comes over and says, "I'm sorry, this table's reserved." And I go, "Priscilla, we gotta," and she goes, No, you sit. And then somebody else came over and said, "No, you guys gotta move." And Lisa stands up and goes, "You sit down, that's your table, I want you next to us." And I'm like, I'm cool, okay, good. So then that dude, the maitre d' guy comes over, gets up in my ear and goes, "Sir, this table's reserved for Lionel Richie. He's upstairs. He's on his way down. If you'd be so kind." Yeah, and I'm like, "Wait, yeah, can I have the table by the piano?" "Sure." "Cool. Let's go, guys." Everybody up. And I'm telling, don't worry about it. We're going over by the piano. "Okay, if you're okay, or it's fine." But it was like, they were not letting them mess with us. You know what I mean? It's just like we're all like the same level thing. They just, the respect. But then, when the man says Lionel Richie's coming downstairs to have some dinner,
it might behoove you
I'm going to move my butt before Lionel gets here with his people.
He's kind of Lionel Richie.
He's Lionel Richie, and when I meet him, I don't want to be the guy in his table.
There's an interesting fact about Lionel Richie that went a little unnoticed, I think. And of course, why wouldn't it? Lionel Richie, in the Arab world, was #1 on the charts for 6 years straight. Now, Lionel Richie, the Arab folks, for some reason, they love some Lionel Richie. They love, hello, that guy he has sold millions. It's incredible. We were in Iraq War II, and this apparently was the song list. This was the playlist to that whole war. Everywhere the soldiers went, they'd be coming out of their houses.
Lady.
Lady, exactly. They eat up some Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie was a badass, and many of his incarnations are extraordinary. He's an extraordinary cat.
Yeah, once again, like one of those icons that you see and you go, "Wow."
Yeah. Wasn't he in the Commodores?
Yeah.
Like Brick House and all that.
He just sort of since we were kids.
Yeah.
7th grade, you know,
I was
rubber band
roller
man.
discoing to Lionel Richie.
Yeah, listen, we grew up in a weird time, man. You still like girls, we want to go dance.
It's a real thing, man. My brother's probably tripping right now. I just said Roller City. He'll know exactly what that was. What was that? Be nice about Don. He is touched. I love when my brother interacts with the show. I mentioned earlier that you worked for Coffee TV. You did the Creepy Coffee movie time shows. You did 134 of them sons.
Yeah, 8 seasons. It was awesome.
What do you do? So explain it to
So
me.
we had a cave band.
Yeah.
And there was the host, Ball Rock, and No Name from Live 105 and every other station. But
Sure.
Name. And Ball Rock was our demon. And then we had a lot of women.
Yeah.
You know, we had cave girls.
Well, that's always been
that
your
were
shtick. You like to bring the production value.
There was some production value going down, and we had a cave that was built. We lived in the cave, and we played in the cave, and we had guests come over, and we'd play really bad horror films, 2 hours every Saturday night, 11:30.
It was super fun.
It was like sending the kids to bed, man, because you're about to get Creature Feature meets Elvira meets Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah. There's a little bit of everything.
Little girls.
You covered a lot of bases there, but not Bob.
Yeah, it was towards the end. I'm going, how can I keep doing this show and be like, you know, doing Napa Valley Radio, attending these nice events, but yet I'm on this. But hey, we grew up in San Francisco. You know, we're Bay Area people, so that was our people.
More of an acceptable liberal approach to having a couple, opposite versions of thyself, the daytime Bob and
right,
the nighttime
daytime
Bob,
and the nighttime
Bob and
horror show.
The late night Bob.
Well, you remember, when back in the day when we would play Broadway, right? What did we do before the show?
Oh,
see, and we've never talked about this, but you know what we did, right?
Yeah.
Because it was right there.
That's right.
And it was only a quarter.
Only a quarter.
Okay, and this was the 80s. You wouldn't know about this.
No,
we didn't have these
he
things.
He wasn't even around.
We didn't have any of that.
No, that did
no,
not
we
exist.
could hardly even get a tape.
Yeah.
But for a quarter.
Yeah, we could get. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it right there.
Every time you play on Broadway, any of the Stone, Rock on Broadway, Mabuhay Gardens.
Those are three of my favorite places.
The Mab, first show I ever played at the Mab.
Yeah, I mean that place is legendary. I think I was reached out to Ted Hatsusi, who used to do a lot of the engineering at the Mab Fab, and of course, that place is seen virtually every. If they're coming up.
Devo, Pat Benatar. I mean, everybody was in that joint.
Everybody played in this place. The first time I saw Metallica was there with my brother.
See?
Yeah, it was like, and they were like kids. They had like acne and shit. It was, and there was like 40 people in there maybe, and that's that place. So I want to dig around the history of that place.
That's where we grew up.
Absolutely.
We literally grew up in those clubs. And then later came the Omni, but we had Keystone Berkeley, Keystone Palo Alto.
That's right. The Corona places.
Yeah. Bobby, Freddie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I learned a lot. Hey, many a Thanksgiving dinner on that stage at the Stone. Bobby would sport for that for all of us rock and roll waifs.
Yeah, one day a year he wasn't a total. Let's move on. Moving on.
Oh, I know what you're referring to. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's leave it alone. Tell me about the Bobby Ricky show, which of course is the plan of Ricky Bobby.
Whoa!
This is you and your brother, you and your good
Very
friend.
good. My
Tell
buddy
me
Big
about
Rick Stewart from K-Fog, K-Fox, K everything.
Yeah.
Big Rick.
Yeah.
So also my golf partner. And we were doing some radio together at the Vine at KVYN, and then he moved on and gave me a call and said, "Hey, let's do a podcast. We'll call it the Bobby Ricky Show." And I go, "Why wouldn't we call it the Ricky Bobby Show? You're bigger than me." And he goes, No, it's taken.
It's taken.
Bobby Ricky.
Well, Will Ferrell saw that. They own that.
And I go, "Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. All right, let's do it." So we just started our little podcast, and now it's grown, and we do a podcast, and it's kind of fun. He's in Yachtville, and I'm on the yacht floating, and we just, have guests with all the Zoom stuff now,
Yeah.
I like to look at it. Even if we're just doing audio, we still Zoom.
Yeah. I think that's a very logical pursuit that way. Are you still involved with 99.3 The Vine?
Yeah, I'm the afternoon anchor now. Apparently, we have new owners. It's big media now, so it's all about all the different platforms.
Yeah.
And they're like, "We want you to take the middle as the spot." And I'm like, "I'm doing mornings for a long time." And they, no, we think. And so they put me in the middle, and now, poof, I got some. It's getting good.
It's going well.
It's doing well. It's all good.
Yeah, you're a natural.
After a couple letters to the paper about where's my I brush my teeth, Tim, in the morning. Or whatever. It's like, don't worry, I moved a little later, you know. It works if you stay up at gig and get home at 3, 4. Then I can like be in at 11 and go, well, living the life.
Yeah, I can see where that jives with a little easier on your schedule, maybe.
Well, it just works out, yeah. And that's what the bosses were saying. And it's quite honestly, yeah, the deal was a good deal. So, sure, I love my job. So we'll just keep doing some radio. And then it works. If I got a tour, I can take off.
So 99.3, these guys can find you Monday through Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. What time?
11 to 3. 11 to 3. I was trying not to go into radio mode and start throwing all this crap out. It's late. I'm on your show, man. Tell your Alexa, play 99.3 The Vine.
That was actually pretty good. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
That had a little fucking.
I put a little on it?
A little flavor right there. That was sweet. We know you have this unique situation where San Francisco State bestowed you with an associate professor degree. Did that happen?
No.
What's with this? Who wrote this?
I don't know, but I like it. I helped a lot of expressions. You know, we do studio etiquette with Jack Douglas and expression for 10 years. Hey, you know Jack?
No, you taught expressions?
Well, I worked with Jack. Jack was the teacher, and then we help do the studio etiquette and the finals.
I think this one right here went to expression.
Did you go to expression?
I sure did.
Did you go through Jack to get out?
I did, yes.
What, did
Mikey
we play?
too, I think.
You very well. No, I think you were the class before us potentially.
Okay, because Jack would bring the deadlies in, and it's our job to torture them and make them be cool. So under pressure.
Yeah.
So that's right. I mean, that's basically it.
Oh, definitely. It's studio etiquette.
It's studio etiquette. It's man. If these people are paying $400 an hour, then when they ask for something, you gotta
get it done.
Get her done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Put your finger on the fighter. I'll never forget that shit. Oh my
Put your
god.
finger on the fighter. That's a little bit inside baseball, but that's a good line. Yeah, that's funny. House in Hawaii. You haven't been back for a while.
It's been over. I don't even want to count now. What is it? 14 months or something? No, I got a place in Kauai, and I'm trying to retire again to Hawaii, which I did to Maui, 20 years ago. Now it's get to Kauai, but this just got stuck for a minute. We'll get there in a minute. The second we can fly, I just don't want to do the 10-day.
Oh, the quarantine.
I can't, because I can see the beach, and I'll be going, I'm going.
I'm gonna run. I'm gonna make the run.
I can make it.
Yeah.
I know me because I can make it.
Yeah.
Right?
But what did they catch you?
You get expelled. You're not allowed to play. They don't play. Here's the thing, though. If you live there and you got COVID,
Survivor.
Yeah, they don't. Oh no! Here, I'll give you a quick funny story.
Right off the
I have Ohana there, so we talk every day, and I walk the property with my camera phones. Yeah. So this couple gets off the plane, right?
Yeah.
And they come down, and the cops tell them, this is like during the thing, and they tell them, okay, you have to go right to your hotel, and they go, okay. So they get in their car and they drive out and they make a left. Now in Lahui, they're going to Princeville, which is right. They make a left. The cops see them and they go, woo, where are you going? I go, we're going to go to Costco and get some food. No, you have to go straight to your hotel. They go, okay. So they leave. An hour and 10 minutes later, cop friend pulls up out in front of Foodland in Princeville. Is that their car? Hold on, back up. Let's sit there and wait. The couple comes out with bags of groceries. And the cop's here, oh, hey, how you doing? Well, come this way. You just leave the groceries. Here, we're going to give you a ride. So I come down and I go, that's 3. You're off.
Wow.
Took them down and said you could stay here or get back on the plane and go home. They decided to go home.
No kidding.
Yeah. Shit. Don't play.
Yeah. No, it's a sensitive subject. They're trying to protect.
There's only 70,000 people on the island. Think about it. It's the Oakland Coliseum.
It wouldn't take much to send a ripple through that sumbitch, would it? Yeah.
Plus, everybody knows everybody. So where are you going?
Yeah.
I like it there.
Yeah.
You have to behave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It's family. It's family.
That's actually a very good point.
Yeah. It's when it's all, a tribe.
Yeah.
You watch what you do. Get respect.
Absolutely. Golf tournament, is this coming up here in June?
June 4th. June 4th at Vintners Golf Course, Vintners Golf Club up in Yountville.
This is the Bob St. Laurent Classic?
Yeah. That's what they usually call it. I haven't even made a poster yet or anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll put Gibson. I got to work with Gibson still. We got meetings this week, so we'll see what happens with the.
This should be great. Has Mr. Hat checked in with us tonight?
No, he hasn't.
No, Mr. Hat. All right, Mr. Hat, you're going to see this later. So that's Jason from the Infirmary. He's also an extraordinary graphic designer. Bob would like to reach out to you. We're going to put you kids together. Bob's got his own things. Maybe you could do some graphics for him. Bobby, we're going to get you together with Mr. Hat. He's an extraordinary cat. Super fucking on the edge. And yeah, he made our...
Yeah, I was telling Vinny, like, okay, man, listen, I need this in my studio. Because that's
your version of it.
Yeah, my own, but like oh my God, I can see it.
Yeah.
You know how some things speak to you? I'm like, oh man, you walk in here in the morning and go, huh?
It makes me
that's
feel a
right.
little something. Yeah, it's fun. It's
Nailed it.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
We're going to avail you of his services. I'm sure he would love to participate in your venture. He's an
I'd
extraordinary
love to
guy
work with him. Yeah, we'll bring him up to the
friend.
studio. We have a brand new radio station, so it's Rodeo Drive. It's all glass walls and everything. It's a little fancy for us, for me. You know what I mean?
It sounds pretty sweet though.
Well, yeah,
Sounds like
I've gotten used to it now. And all the pipe to everything and the glass and clean and art, and I'm like, I work in a nice place now.
Good
No,
for
it's
you,
all
man.
good. My gear is all brand new, so yeah.
Yeah, no, you deserve it, man. You worked your ass off for this opportunity. You kill it. You got an extraordinary presence, voice, a certain je ne sais quoi that you bring to the table.
Ooh.
Yeah, I whipped out some French on you. That just
You
happened.
just broke
That
down
just
some
happened.
French. You see that? Being from a province outside of Quebec. The province of Saint Laurent.
I will pull out some weird shit like that. Listen, my brother, it was an absolute treat to see you again. It has been way too long. You look great. You sound great. And, just keep up the good work. Don't be a stranger. Thank you very much for coming all the way down here and having dinner with us and coming on the show. It's been an absolute treat.
Well, it's been my honor. I'm honored that you had me on the show. Honestly, I thought, really? Can I do it? Yeah, but honestly, I'm humbled. And thank you, Kyle, as well.
Definitely, it was great to hear your stories, man.
Manchester, bro.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. McIntyre taking a cab, skiing down the
Son of a
mountain.
bitch.
There, I got a little New Hampshire trivia right in there, Vinny.
All right. We got a show to close over here,
Back
gentlemen.
to nostalgia.
I tried to not allow them to have that moment, but I lost.
I know, it was a little rough.
I'm glad
on
you guys
man.
got the Broham up here in the New Hampshire style. Like your New Hampshire.
Maple syrup and trees.
That's a beautiful thing. Listen, man, we another great show. We're very lucky to have Bob out here. He's a dear friend and an extraordinary talent. And it really, if you get a chance, check out his podcast. They're really fun. It's the Bobby Ricky Show, and it's wherever podcasts are available. It's a good time. Check it out. And if you get a chance, 99.3 The Vine. Bob St. Laurent, the one and only. Thank you, Bobby. Listen, next week we got the one and only Anthony Powers. Now, I get a lot of heat from the lovely, a fellow Hawaiian, by the way, John Del Rio, staging legend. And Johnny Del Rio, of course, is Hawaii. He's got a property right on the beach as well. And he's always up my butt about getting some other folks in here other than my audio brethren. So, hey, John, for you, buddy, next week we're bringing Anthony Powers in. He's going to come in and he's going to talk lights. He's going to tell us why things twinkle real pretty and how he gets it done. So we're doing that for John.
Your brother chimed in. He said Metallica and chicken wire.
That's inside baseball. We'll bring up that one next week. But George's talking about some early Metallica days. That was when they would throw bottles at the band, and the chicken wire was the only thing that saved you. You have to see.
That was one of my dreams, is like to play in one of those bars.
Yeah. Oh, super fun.
Yeah.
Oh, super fun, man. You get hosed down, but most of the glass stays on that side. It works pretty well. So that's the thing. Early days Metallica. Listen, we appreciate it. Anthony Powers next week, Light and Legend. Please tune in, 7 p.m. Thursdays. You know what we do. Keep doing what you do. Please be good to each other. Be kind and take care. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.